Welcome back to another special video today because we're going to be doing our 2024 NHL Mock Draft, except we're only going to be doing the top 16 picks. The San Jose Sharks have the first overall pick, and this is the consensus number one overall pick is Macklin Celebrini. He's 6 foot, 197 pounds, and he dominated the competition in NCAA at Boston University. He had 64 points, 32 goals, 32 assists in 38 games played. Youngest Hobey Baker Award winner ever in NCAA history, and the Sharks getting, I don't want to say generational player because I think that's thrown away too loosely in my opinion, but a very elite player who's going to be a top player at the NHL level for years to come.
I also have Celebrini going 1 overall. I think this is a no-brainer pick. He's clearly the best player in this draft, and yeah, I think they could potentially be getting a star player.
Number 2, the Chicago Blackhawks. I have them picking Artyom Levshunov, a defenseman, Michigan State University. He's a right-handed shot defenseman, and he was the third youngest player in men's college hockey and ranked second among NCAA defensemen and tied for 10th among all defensemen in total scoring. He had 35 points, 9 goals, and 26 assists in 38 games in the NCAA level, and I think having Levshunov there, Connor Bedard up front, you're really building a great foundation to build the blue line and forward group with this pick.
Yeah, I also have him going 2nd overall to the Blackhawks. They have their franchise forward and Connor Bedard. I think they could address the forward need in free agency. They have a lot of good young prospects too. I think they really need a good young defenseman, and I think this is exactly what they're going to get out of him. You have a potential, you have a franchise forward, and you have a potential top pair for defensemen for years to come.
Number 3, the Anaheim Ducks. I have them selecting Anton Silyev, a defenseman out of the KHL. Them already adding Silyev to guys like Mintyukov and Zellweger and Lemieux back there on the blue line. Adding to her prospect core, an 18-year-old defenseman. He's 6'7", 211 pounds. You're adding a big body guy. You already add that with the forward young prospect core and guys on your NHL roster with guys like Zegras and Leo Carlson. You add a guy like Silyev and you help the blue line get even better. And I think their blue line is going to be really good, especially if they can go with a guy like Silyev. It might be a little bit high compared to who I have next.
Yeah, I have them taking Demidov 3rd overall. I think they need a forward. I think Trevor Zegras is most likely going to get traded this summer. I think it's pretty obvious that Anaheim wants to move on from him, so they get a really good young forward in Demidov. I think he can step in right away and make a big difference. Like I said, I think the Ducks need a forward more than anything right now still.
Number 4, I do have Ivan Demidov, a right wing out of SKA St. Petersburg in the KHL. Again, the best offensive skilled talent in the entire draft. I think if you're going by positional need, I think he does fall to 4 to Columbus. I think Columbus pairing him with Adam Fantilli. Now, I know Demidov, he probably won't be here until the 25-26 season. He definitely won't be here for this upcoming season. But if the Blue Jackets can just be season patient, you have Demidov on the right side and you put Fantilli in the middle. That's going to be a disgustingly good duo for a decade plus.
So if I had Demidov on my board at 4, I would have had them picking him. But I think they take Lidstrom, another forward. The Blue Jackets kind of need everything, and I think they get another young forward to pair with Adam Fantilli. I think Caden Lidstrom is one of the better forwards in the draft. You have good year in the WHL, 46 points in 32 games. I think he might be a year or two away from playing in the NHL right away. But I think I don't think the Blue Jackets go wrong literally drafting anybody here because they need everything. But yeah, I have them taking Lidstrom at 4.
Number 5, I have the Montreal Canadiens taking Caden Lindstrom here. He is a center, WHL Medicine Hat Tigers, and to add a big body center in that already stacked forward group, and I was contemplating with him and another defenseman to be named later. I was like, you know what? They can go defenseman, but they already took Reinbacher with the 5th overall pick last season. You can double down and take another defenseman here, or go high risk, high reward. The guy like Caden Lindstrom, he had 27 goals in 32 games for the Medicine Hat Tigers. He also missed a ton of games due to a hand injury in the middle of the season. Came back, he played in the playoffs. Wasn't too shabby in the playoffs too, but he can be a very physical, two-way grinder, power forward type of center for them.
Okay, at 5, I have the Canadians taking another defenseman and Anton Siliev. Montreal, I think they should be pretty happy with the forward core they have. I think they add another defenseman to bolster that blue line for years to come.
At number 6, I have the Utah Hockey Club taking Sam Dickinson, a defenseman out of London in the OHL. Utah, by the way, I think their blue line prospect pool can definitely use some work, but also it is underrated. I think there are some guys that are good, but also I think you add Dickinson, who can come in and be a great puck-moving defenseman. His hockey IQ through the roof, some of the best on the blue line in this entire draft. You pair him with guys like Logan Cooley up front to support him, and I think Sam Dickinson is easily the pick here if Caden Lindstrom is not available.
So I have Utah at 6 taking Zane Parecki. I probably said that wrong. Good offensive defenseman coming out of the OHL in Saginaw, 96 points in 66 games. Utah, I think, has a need for defense.
Number 7, I have the Ottawa Senators taking Zeev Buium. He is a defenseman out of the University of Denver. He was a key contributor into why they won the national championship. A 6 foot, 186-pound defenseman. He was fifth among all freshmen with 50 points, 11 goals, 39 assists in 42 games.
So I also have them taking Buium, or however you say that, at 7 as well.
Number 8, I have the Seattle Kraken taking Zane Parekh, a defenseman, Saginaw Spirit, OHL. Again, I think the Kraken lack defensive prospects so much. Their forward prospect pool is good. It definitely needs work, but I think defensemen, they're so lackluster, especially with prospects. You have to go with a guy like Parekh, who had, by the way, 96 points, 33 goals, 63 assists in 66 games. He was voted the top defenseman in the entire CHL, and he gets comparisons to Erik Karlsson. And as we all know, Erik Karlsson, one of the best puck-moving offensive defensemen most of his career, and I think that comparison I don't think you take it with a grain of salt. This dude's going to be great.
So at 8, I have the Kraken taking Sam Dickinson.
Number 9, I have the Calgary Flames taking none other than Jerome Iginla's son, Tage Iginla, center Kelowna Rockets in the WHL. And this dude's a dynamic offensive talent. He has speed, quickness, lateral quickness, you name it.
I also have the Flames taking Tage Iginla. I think it's just too good of a story for the Flames to pass up. You know, you get the son of probably one of the greatest players your franchise has ever had. His draft stock has really risen in the last few months. I think it's just a no-brainer for the Flames if he's there at 9.
Number 10, I have the New Jersey Devils taking center Spokane Chiefs WHL Berkeley Caton. And Berkeley Caton, I think, could fit well with this already stacked forward group.
At 10, I have the Devils taking Cole Eiserman, another forward. This one, he's committed to BU, so he's not going to be coming to the NHL right away this year, which is, I think, fine for the Devils. They have a lot of really good young forwards. They don't necessarily need him right away. Give him time to cook in the oven. 89 points for U.S. National Development Team program.
Number 11, I have the Buffalo Sabres taking Cole Eiserman. So he's not going to be up here right away. He's going to be at least a season away.
So at 11, I have the Sabres taking Berkeley Caton.
Number 12, I have the Flyers taking Carter Yakimachuk, a defenseman Calgary Hitman in the WHL. Again, I think they could definitely use a guy like Carter Yakimachuk.
I also have the Flyers taking him as well.
At 13th, I have the Minnesota Wild taking Konsta Helenius. That, holy shit, took me 3 times. He's a center. The Wild just, at this point, I think they're in the point where you need everything, but you're so mid, just take him.
So I have the Wild at 13 taking Adam Jiricek.
Number 14, I have the Sharks taking Adam Jiricek, a defenseman out of Czechia. You get Celebrini at 1. You have the forward prospects that's already gross. You have to add a guy like Jiricek.
At 14, I have the Sharks taking Beckett Seneke.
15, I have the Red Wings taking Michael Brandsek. Nygaard, you add him with Lucas Raymond and Dylan Larkin and the Brinket. I think that you can use a guy like Branson Nygaard in the next couple seasons to really help fill the top 6 of that lineup.
At 15, I have the Red Wings taking Stian Solberg.
That is going to end it for our mock draft. You guys agree with us? You guys disagree? Our Instagram's down below. We're going to make a post about that as well. Thank you guys for coming by. Subscribe, notification bell down below as well. New episodes out every single Monday here at Apple and Spotify at noon Eastern. We'll see you guys in our next episode.